Unus Annus.
In case you don't know what Unus Annus is, it is a YouTube channel started by two existing YouTube personalities, Markiplier and Crank Gameplays, two comedic geniuses coming together to make one video every single day for 1 year. Unus Annus, 1 year, and they're deleting the channel at the end of the year this month. So if you're watching this video and Unus Annus no longer exists, I'm very sorry. This tag is combining my love of books with Unus Annus. The tag is created by JL Todd, and I was tagged by, yes, the original creator. This tag is about books. I'm just gonna talk about books. That's what I do, but I wanted to make the theme Unus Annus-y, especially since that's the whole point of the tag. Okay, I'm done. First prompt is Unus, a modest character. So a book with a modest character. To be honest, I don't have a lot of those, because I like having books with characters I relate to. The manga series, Fruits Basket, with the main character Toru Honda. A big part of the series is that she affects others with her joy and with her kindness without realizing it, because she doesn't think of herself as someone who can make a positive change in someone else's life. She sees the positive things in others, but she had to learn to find the positivity in herself as well. Prompt number 2, Annus. A character with an ego. I don't know if I've talked about this book quite enough, but The Extraordinary Education of Nicholas Benedict, the main character, Nicholas Benedict, is a genius, and he knows he's a genius. But he's not egotistical in the way that's annoying. He actually uses that confidence to kind of protect himself from, well, he's been bullied, he knows what it's like, people have constantly treated him badly because he's young and also because he seems pretty pompous. He says a lot of like stuck-up things, but he says it to people who deserve it, in my opinion. Prompt number 3, Sauna, a book you wish you could unread. Thankfully, I don't own any books that I wish I could unread. But I recently read A Tale of Two Cities, or tried to. I spent months trying to get through that book. I just felt like I should have liked it, because I like books similar to it, but it was too long and boring and I hated it a lot. Books that I wish I hadn't read because of how bad they were would be anything by, I think his name is Atticus, a poet. Here's a book that I read by him. Prompt 4. Cooking with. I've gotten so desensitized to the weirdness of Unus Annus. Sometimes you just have to step back and think about the things that you're watching, but no time for that. Let's move on. An adult book. I don't own a lot of those. I really like middle grades and young adults, but I did listen to an audiobook recently, or kind of recently, I don't know, some point this year, called The Vanishing Half by, I think, Britt Bennett. Yeah, an audiobook of that was recommended to me, and that is an adult book, and it's really good. It's like a drama, but also with some crime-ish, mystery-ish elements to it, about a town called Mallard, if I'm remembering correctly, that basically has a lot of black people who have tried to make themselves as light and white passing as possible, but then these two twins, as in the vanishing half, one of them goes missing, and it's basically about their two lives, how they interact with each other. 5. Camp Unus Annus, a book with an outdoor element. I do have a couple of those. One I sadly do not own, but I have read, is The Ice Dragon by J.R.R. Martin. It's this beautiful but painfully short but sweet, illustrated book about a girl in I think the Game of Thrones universe that meets an ice dragon and befriends it, and they have to convince the villagers that the ice dragon isn't evil. Another one that I have right here is Kensuke's Kingdom. I don't know if anyone watching this has heard of it before, because I don't see it talked about enough, but I've had it for a very long time. It's about this little boy who goes out on a ship trip with his parents, but then a storm comes and he gets washed away, and he basically has to survive on an island in the middle of nowhere by himself, but then he finds out, wait, maybe he's not by himself. Prompt number 6, Quarentannus, a reading experience that was a roller coaster. I recently read an entire manga series beginning to end, called Creature. I was debating whether to talk about this in a video of its own, where I basically discuss a bunch of manga I've read recently. Maybe I will, but just to put it briefly, Creature is a horror manga, but like horror, you know what I mean? It has these really detailed, gory, disgusting drawings, but really good art. And I thought when I went into it that I was just going in for a classic apocalyptic thing, you know? Creature. There are these creatures invading Earth and killing everybody, and then it's just these group of teenagers who are like, oh no. But it became something else entirely. Maybe I'll show a few screenshots, I don't know. It's an entirely different plot that evolves and then blows up, but then it keeps going. So if there's any manga series which I have read, and I could describe as a roller coaster, I would describe Creature as a roller coaster. Mountain climbing count as a sport. Yes, mountain climbing. This is book 1 out of a trilogy by Gordon Corman called Everest, the Everest Trilogy, and it is about a bunch of young people who win this kind of, I was about to say giveaway like it's YouTube. They win this contest thing where if you're athletic enough and willing enough, they'll be like the youngest team that climb up to the top of Everest, but things go down, things go wrong. Prompt 8. Reacting to your hilarious green screen memes. A book that has something to do with movies, TV, documentary, etc. And I don't own any of those, but I have read those. So something recently, an ebook that I read, it was an ARC when I got it, I Killed Zospanos by Kit Frick, and it doesn't have TV in it, but it has a lot to do with this podcast that one of the characters has, this mystery podcast, because her sister went missing, and she started the podcast to unveil the mystery of her disappearance, to raise awareness about it, and it plays a really big part in the plot. Another one is Heart and Soul by Aaron Kinsella. That was another arc I read quite a while back. There's a review of it up on my channel. The main character travels to Korea, they're an author, and their book has just been adapted, or is about to be adapted because she's going to be part of the production, into a K-drama series. So the whole reason the plot begins is because she's there to help out with the series, the TV production. Prompt 9. Mark and Ethan become United States citizens. An immigrant story or a book that takes place in a country that is not the United States. I'm glad this prompt exists because BookTube, I've heard other people and I agree, it seems a lot America central. A lot of, like, most parts of YouTube are very America central, and most aspects to even purchasing things, it's like, if you don't live in America, good luck. A book that I have read recently is Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo, and it takes place half in New York, half in South America, if I'm right. Yeah, South America is very vague, but I can't remember. Another one is the one I just mentioned, Heart and Soul, that takes place in Korea. So, highly recommend both of those books. Heart and Soul is a romance, and Clap When You Land is a novel in verse. Prompt number 10, the final prompt. Finding the most cursed image on the internet, a book with a bad cover. Feel free to take your pick between these three. That's my personal favorite. This is the Among the Hidden, well, the first one is called Among the Hidden. It's called the Shadow Children series, and I've really tried to find replacement covers, replacement editions for this series, but I can't find them, and I can't just throw out the books for having terrible, awful, ugly covers, because the plot is great and I really do like the series. But yeah, look at that. What made them think this was a good idea? I hate, like, faces and real life people on covers in general. I think that's really ugly, but also just, did you have to blur it so bad? Thank you, JL Todd, for creating the tag. I really do like it. It's really creative, and I'm glad something Unus Annus related has been created for me to participate in, that can stay here even after the channel is dead. If you want to do this tag, if you like books and also like Unus Annus, please do the tag. Please do. I tag you. The channel itself has genuinely inspired me and got me through the year. You know what I mean? Like, a new video every day to give me a laugh. That really goes far. Live stream is on the 13th, 12 p.m. PST, which is my time at least, and I'm going to watch it and I'm gonna cry. Probably. If you watched it like me, if you were subscribed, you a real one, we can talk about it in the comments. Memento mori, Unus Annus. Bye.